Hi, it's Trevor Leggett. Welcome to the Leggett Podcast.
There's 660 strong sales forces, you know, butchers, bakers, candlestick makers, basically, from all walks of life, all professions, all different backgrounds. A quarter of the sales force are French cousins, 3/4 of the sales force are internationals.
Yeah. I mean, if you say what makes a good estate agent, well, you know, what makes a good estate agent is it's customer service orientated, like caring, reliable, decent people that get on with it and do what they say they're going to do.
People person.
At the end of the day, people don't want to have to deal with any of the rubbish and mess themselves. They want someone to deal with it all for them, and some of them are absolutely brilliant at it.
Well, yeah, our most successful, the company's most successful are fantastic examples of people. I've been a people person.
Yeah, I mean, that's how we've built the business over the years, isn't it? I mean, basically, it's to have a team of people behind a team of people. I mean, obviously, our ratio of salaried staff to sales staff is one of the highest in the business, as you know.
Absolutely, given the support.
The number of people we've got in the background supporting the sales force is literally probably 4 or 5 times as high as most of our competitors.
So, certainly 4 or 5 times higher than the Resos, you know, at the...
But I mean, you know, when you look at Emma, for example, I mean, she's been with us now for quite a while. I mean, who would have thought that she would have sold the amount of property that she has done in 𝗟𝗲𝗴𝗴𝗀𝗴𝗀 in the Three Valleys? I mean,
consistently, you know, every year.
Every year.
Every single year, consistently. And there's many examples of that. Absolutely.
You know, that whole team that worked together, like, they're as tight as a...
absolutely.
Incredible.
And you know, you said what makes a good agent? Well, what makes a good Leggett agent is it, in my view, integrity, tenacity, the local knowledge you can trust, hard work, application, and we've got so many fine examples.
And they've all got their own way of doing it, haven't they?
Well, exactly.
It's always what amuses me is that, you know, one person works in a completely different way to another, but it works for them, and that
absolutely.
You know, that's why when it comes to sales, you know yourself, you can't. There's not just one way to do it. There's more than one approach, and you know, what works for some person won't work for another, and you know,
different strokes for different folks. And at the end of the day, we're an independent network of 660 agents who are individual, who do things their own way. And with the caveat of offering excellent.
Well, we've actually encouraged it, haven't we?
Absolutely, 100%.
We haven't said this is how you do it, bang, this is it, black and white. You've got to. There's your list of instructions. Get on with it. We want it done like that. Yeah. We actually allow them to, like, sort of, you know, grow and as individuals, as salespeople, and each one of them, it's their own business in effect.
Well, as I say, independent, and the yardstick advice they receive from me is be your best, who you are, be your very best, and that's and that basically is mirrored in their results.
Well, when you look at that, you know, we had recently we set a little competition for instructions amongst the agents. And when you looked at the 10 guys that were the top agents of things, not one of them, they were completely different characters with completely different ways of doing things. And yet, highly efficient, highly, you know, that's why I'm convinced it's exactly the same. I mean, okay, there's one way to take a decent photo with that, you know, there's one way to draw a floor plan, there's one way to do a decent VT, and one way to make a nice video. But, you know, the approach with the clients is there's so many different approaches to.
Totally agree. You know, a one size doesn't fit all.
No. And also by area, the way that people do, you get different client, different type of client to a different area, different need. You've got more holiday homeowners in one area, you've got more permanent movers in another. You've got people from different parts of the world. I mean, the ability to deal with different cultures and nationalities as a business has been our strength. I mean, our call centre, being able to pick up the phone in several languages to start with, and be able to understand the needs of, like, different nationalities, and people are different. I don't care what it is, they're not all the same.
And the contracts and legal department, it's all different. Right. But ultimately, the sales force that we have is so diverse, and there's one common thread knitting everything together, And that's basically the passion for selling property.
Yeah, a passion for property.
Passion for property.
They've got a love.
Absolutely. And our best ambassadors are the people that have actually bought property through us, because many of these 660 agent have actually bought property through us.
Or bought and sold several, some of them.
Absolutely. Moved to that area. They're the best ambassador for that area. And that is basically what makes all 660 of these people special, because they're local property experts. Hence that saying there, local knowledge you can trust. And there aren't many companies that can basically say that, hand on heart, but we are one of them.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean we've got a diverse team, to say the least, in ages and
absolutely,
and in nationalities. I mean, we've got Germans, Dutch, Belgians, we've got a Dane, we've got Swiss, we've got Italians, French, English, South African, and Canadian.
Yep, American.
We've
got a few Americans,
a few Americans.
South African.
And that's the nice thing about business
a couple of Aussies as well.
We've got this multicultural business with people from all over the world with one thing in common, is they love a property, which is great.
Absolutely.
And enthusiasm for it.
Yeah, and
keeps it fun, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And as you know, we're divided into 20 teams. Every time I go to one of the 20 team meetings, that is the common thread, the passion for property. And it doesn't matter if you're in the northwest of the country, southwest, southeast, you're in Paris, it doesn't matter. That will be the lunchtime conversation. Property, property, property. People at Leggett Estate do live and breathe property.
In the UK, though.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
You get the impression they're just doing a job that they don't really like.
Absolutely, they're after the and they're after the commission, and that's it.
Not be rude to
No. It's hunter killer. They're after the commission, and that's it. Leggett Estate. We all have a passion.
And look at the way we go the extra mile for people. I mean, those guys, I see some of the stuff they do. I mean, it stretches to the unimaginable. I mean, not only do they organise their utility bills and simple stuff like that, but I mean, I've said them, like, helping them get their kids enrolled in schools and stuff, and all sorts of other bits and bobs. Going way beyond.
I've enrolled people at the doctors, dentists, you name it. I've done everything for them. I've even gone and bought flat screen TVs with them because they don't know how to ask for the price, etc. in French at the store when they first arrive. But going that extra mile, it's a passion for property. That's what sets us, I think, apart from the rest. I really do.
Definitely.
I really do. I mean, a temple with the fact that we've got 660 decent people. I can't think of one person in the sales force I wouldn't invite round to my house for a drink and something to eat. And I've always thought that ever since I started 15 years ago, Trevor.
Right. I actually look forward to seeing them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I do.
When we go out to regional meetings around the country, I'm looking forward to seeing them. I haven't seen them for a while. It's nice to have a few bites to eat and a drink with them.
Absolutely brilliant. And it's,
the parties are a bit wild in the Alps, but
but you know, and that's the glue. That's what glues us together. Is the passion for property, but also we a tight knit unit, 660 people. But we're a tight knit unit.
We're friends. Friends.
Absolutely. The vast majority of the colleagues that I've met, absolutely fantastic people. And that's important when they find the dream home for the people that are listening today, or sell the home for the sellers that are listening today.
Frankly, the policy. literally. I don't think I remember the insurer saying to us not long ago, it's a bit anecdotal, but they turned around and said, you don't have any claims on your insurance compared to the size of the business over the years, over the last 20 years. I said, well, no, because we always manage to find a solution to a problem.
Well,
the problem arises, there's always a solution to a problem. Of course, problems arise, you're always going to get them, but the way you handle them.
It's the legal system and everything, and the purchasing system.
I can't believe how conflictual and how procedurier. Some businesses, as you say, are just there just to basically screw the client.
Absolutely.
They are. They're a bit. It's a bit harsh. So, and I think that's why agents join us, because they pick that up, they like it, and they choose to come and work with us because one of the things they feel safe.
And also, Trevor, I've been a little bit hard-nosed about things commercially. The advantage of that local knowledge you can trust dealing with decent people is those individuals in 5-10 years' time will always come back to us. Yeah. And we don't do it for that reason, but that is a bonus. It's lovely to hear. Well, I bought through you 8 years ago. The service was brilliant. I haven't gone to anybody else. I'm coming back to you, Carl. That's what I used to say to them.
They normally ask for a discount.
Well, a loyalty discount. And that does give you that warm, rewarding feeling that are all in business to make our livings, but at the end of the day, we do it so well.
Well, I think every department has sort of been doing it for such a long time. We kind of like as I said to you, it's like little tweaks, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's like
it is fine-tuning.
Little tweaks that make difference. It's fine-tuning each thing, and it is. It's like over a long period of time. I mean, now we've been going since 1997.
Yep.
That's quite a long time, isn't it? It's 26 years.
26 years, yeah. 26 years, and you know, I joined in.
Sat in wheelchairs at the time we finished.
I joined in 2008, and I was the 73rd agent at Leggett Estate, and today we've got 660. So that gives our listeners an idea of the journey, and that's some journey. Yeah. From 5 original people to 660. That is an epic journey by any means for a privately owned independent company in France that originated from international owners. But I do think the reason for our superior treatment of our clients is the fact that the agents that joined Leggett Immobilier had been treated like that, many of them, by us in the past, and they felt comfortable with it and wanted to join us to sell property themselves. I do. I think many of our sales force did join us originally because of our reputation. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, also, our model's a bit different to the others as well. I mean, frankly, the level of support that we offer, and we don't have them to pay for a seat, and so everything's done, and a lot more's done for them than there would be,
absolutely,
in a lot of other organisations. So.
Well, and also bearing in mind for our English-speaking clients, which the vast majority listening, today are English-speaking, everything's done for them by these individuals that can speak both languages, and that is absolutely critical, because otherwise, even if it's a holiday home, if it isn't your biggest investment, if it isn't your biggest asset in your life, a holiday home's your second biggest asset. Second biggest asset, and not understanding the language. Are we hand-holding and walking through all the way to the end?
Yeah, which is going to improve now. I don't know if you know, I was talking to Jules about it the other day.
Yeah.
What we plan to do on the way forward is to hold like sort of mini teams meetings with the buyer and the vendor and the clients. And, obviously, that's so that the clients and the agent and the admin people doing the redaction on the compromise, so the contracts team, basically the conveyancing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You run through online with them with an explication of how it does, which we haven't done so far, which I think is a big part of what their new comms process is. So, we're always trying to improve it, trying to make it more seamless, trying to obviously make it more transparent for the clients, and continually looking for ways to improve the service level.
Practice and experience makes perfect, and this is what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
And I'll go back to what I said. The common thread, the glue that holds us 660 people together, the agents and sales force together, is this passion for property.
Yeah.
It's a people business, and Leggett Immobilier get people, and they understand why people want to buy property, want to sell property, and they will deliver that on a plate for them.
There's a really good business opportunity for potential coaches, for people that want to build a team in an area where we're not present. So if there's anybody listening who actually is in some of the areas we've got, there's a few places I can think of where we're not present, like Nancy, Strasbourg.
Yeah, Champagne.
There's a lot of Franche-Comté.
Yeah.
Besançon and that area. There's a lot of areas where we've still to develop. And I think, over the next 5 years, our plan is to obviously continue to grow. Literally, as we've done in the past, to start new teams in new areas and help them to grow their businesses within that area.
As you know, Trevor, I started 15 years ago, and I came over to France with my wife and the 3 kids. And I'm going to say it, but it's the best thing I ever did, because it gave me the flexibility, it gave me the freedom. It also gave me a chance to express myself.
Learn to drive a bit better.
Not speak French though. and for me it's the best thing I've ever done, because I could live that dream in France. My dream was to basically bring my family here, earn a living, work, and have a really, really nice life. And it's very much a company and an industry that you basically work your way into. It's experience and confidence, experience, and that's saying this next to us local knowledge you can trust. It's absolutely right.
And we see it in our agents, don't you? You see it in
all the time.
Like you watch them grow, and then all of a sudden they've got it, bang, they're off, and then they're like, you know, it's quite incredible sometimes. Sometimes it can take 12 months, sometimes it can take 3 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then all of a sudden, bang, there's something that goes click, and boff, they're off.
But one thing they've got in common, Trevor, is the fact that once they have established this business, getting their properties on the market, getting the experience, then they've got a producing business for the rest of their lives, for the rest of their working lives, that nobody can take away from them. They're their own boss, and they're working under the umbrella of a fantastic, like-minded set of people. Well,
that's one of the things that's nice for me, is to know that we've made quite a lot of people life-changing.
Nice lives, yeah. You know, absolutely, and nice careers, yeah.
Nice careers, they've been able to restore lovely homes, and they've done well for themselves. They've done well for us as well, but they've done well for themselves.
Absolutely.
And it's a nice feeling, you know, when you go to their homes, you remember that and they've done really well. You think, well, this is great. Because
absolutely. It is a fantastic partnership, Leggett Estate and working with independent agents such as myself and so many hundreds others down the years. And it's a genuine business opportunity that also gives you a chance to express yourself. And also,
well, we're not their back every 5 minutes, are we? We're not micromanaging people. We let them express themselves.
Flexibility, independence. It's the whole package.
We respect their independence, because what I can see is a lot of people are supposedly self-employed independent agents, but they don't get treated like it.
No, unfortunately they don't.
I mean, you know, you look at them, they've got like targets, they've got this, they've got that, they're micromanaged and the thing, and I mean, cross the way, they might as well be salaried.
No, all of my colleagues are still their own boss, simple as that.
Exactly.
And that's basically...
But you know what, that's what our top agents all say to us. That's what we like the most about this business, is the fact that we are truly independent.
Absolutely, 100% they are.
Anyway, top tip for being an agent?
Top tip for being an agent, be a good communicator. Integrity is key.
Yeah.
Work rate, be as industrious as you can, and excel the expectations of both your buyers and sellers.
Yeah.
They're my tips.
Yeah,
and for me, that is basically epitomises a Leggett Estate agent.
And you can't give up at the first hurdle. That's the thing, isn't it? You're going to take a knock, aren't you? You know. I mean, if you remember, like, I can't remember. I'm not going to name them, but I mean, one of our agents, who was a brilliant agent, lost 5 sales on the trot last year.
Yeah, I know.
That was a kick in the teeth, and unfortunately, you know, it happens. It was at the time when mortgages were getting very, very
absolutely.
We lost
the last quarter last year. Yeah, that's right.
But you know, you've got to be tenacious. You've got to get up. My top tip is, obviously, as you agree, is you've got to treat it as your own business if you want to succeed. But you can also do as little or as much of it as you want. And an agent that's making 50,000 a year, to be honest, to me, is as valuable as an agent who's earning, you know, $500,000.
Absolutely.
You know, they're just as worthy, just as important to us.
Absolutely.
You know. And that's the thing you have to respect, is what they want to do. We respect them, and, you know, in turn, it's that. Anyway, there you go then. So we'll see you next time, anyway. Yeah. Hopefully we shed some light on some of the good points about being an agent.
Well, it's like being an agent.
Bye.
Bye.